Beyond the Red House, where we turn trauma into triumph and pain into purpose. I'm Kayla Volturno, author of I Was Once the Girl in the Red House, and I believe in the power of authentic healing stories. This is a space where your voice matters, your story heals, and your journey inspires others to break their own cycles. Whether you're just beginning your healing or years into building your new life, you belong here. Let's explore what it means to move beyond the red houses that hurt us and build the lives we actually deserve. Welcome back to Beyond the Red House. I need to be really honest with you today. I'm exhausted. Not just physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted. My brain does not stop. Every thought is a battle. Every decision feels monumental. Every interaction gets replayed and analyzed 100 times. I'm overthinking everything, and it's draining me. And I know I'm not alone in this, so today I want to talk about the mental exhaustion of overthinking. Why do we do it, especially as trauma survivors? What can we do about it when our brains just won't give us a break? Let me tell you what overthinking has always looked like for me. Let's say I send a text to a friend, a simple, normal text. But then I'll spend the next hour analyzing it. Did I sound okay? Was my tone right? Did I say too much? Not enough? Maybe why they haven't responded yet. Oh my gosh, are they mad at me? Did I do something wrong? I've had conversations with people, and after it, I replay the entire thing in my head, usually when I'm getting ready for bed. I will ask myself, did I explain myself clearly? Did I maybe say something wrong? Did they understand what I was trying to say? Maybe what did they really think? What facial expressions did they have? What did that mean when they paused? And I've always had this in my head, every single conversation. And I always think, someone's mad at me. Did I choose something wrong? Am I going to regret saying this? Is there something else I should have said? By the end of the day, I am exhausted from just thinking. My brain always feels like it's running a marathon. I am tired in a way that sleep doesn't even fix because my brain does not stop, even when I'm trying to rest. I lay in bed at night, and those thoughts just keep playing and analyzing and worrying and creating problems that haven't even existed yet. Every thought is a battle. Every moment requires mental energy I truly don't have. And being stuck in my own head feels like a mental prison. I am unable to just exist without constantly analyzing, questioning, overthinking everything. If this sounds familiar to you, if you know what it's like to be exhausted by your own mind, this episode's for you. So let's talk about it. Why do we overthink so much, especially as trauma survivors? Overthinking is a survival mechanism. When you grow up in an unpredictable or unsafe environment, you learn how to be hypervigilant. You learn how to analyze every situation, every person. You are scanning for potential threats. You learn to take 10 steps ahead so you can protect yourself. You learn to replay interactions to figure out what you did wrong so you could avoid the punishment next time. Your brain became a threat detection machine, and it was good at it. It kept you safe. It helped you survive. But even now that you're safe, the threat may be gone, but your brain is still running that same program. It's still scanning for danger. It's still analyzing everything. It's still trying to predict, prevent, and protect. Except now, instead of keeping you safe, it's just exhausting. Overthinking is rooted in deep fear of making mistakes. Many of us learned that making mistakes had huge consequences, emotional explosions, punishment, withdrawal of love, confrontation, and confirmation that we weren't good enough. So, when we learn to think through every decision 1,000 times, trying to find the right answer, trying to avoid getting it wrong, so we learned to think through every decision 1,000 times, trying to figure out what's the right answer and trying to avoid getting it wrong because getting it wrong felt dangerous. The problem is there often isn't one right answer. Most decisions have multiple valid options, but our brain is still operating from that childhood fear that one wrong move can lead to disaster. Overthinking is a way of trying to control the uncontrollable. When you've experienced trauma, when you felt powerless, when things have felt chaotic, out of your control, thinking becomes a way to create a sense of control. If I just think about this enough, if I just analyze this from every angle, if I prepare for every possible outcome, then I can control what happens. But we can't. We can't control other people's reactions. We can't predict the future. We can't eliminate all risk. And the more we try to think that way, the more exhausted we become. Overthinking comes from not trusting ourselves. When you've been gaslit, when your perceptions have been invalidated, when you've been told you're too sensitive, too dramatic, you're wrong, stop trusting your own judgment. So every decision requires massive mental energy because you can't just trust your gut to make a choice and move on. You, no, have to analyze it from every angle because you don't trust your own read on the situation. Let me tell you what this mental exhaustion actually feels like because it's important to name it. It feels like your brain is a web browser with 100 tabs open and they're all buffering. Nothing's loading properly. They're all taking up energy. It feels like you can't focus on what's right in front of you because you're too busy thinking about what happened earlier or what might happen later or what you should have said or what you need to prepare for. It feels like you're never fully present anywhere because your brain is always somewhere else, replaying, analyzing, worrying, planning. It feels like you're exhausted because you can't rest. Really, your brain won't shut off. You lay there instead of sleeping. You think, you try to relax, and instead of unwinding, you spiral. It feels like being trapped in your head with no off switch. And then, of course, there's guilt, because why wouldn't there be? That comes with it. You think, why am I like this? Why can't I just let things go? Why do I make everything so complicated? Why can't I just be normal and not overthink everything? Which, of course, now causes more overthinking because you're overthinking about your overthinking. So, what do we do about it? How do we break the cycle when our brain just won't stop? And I want to be clear about something first. I truly don't have this figured out. I'm sharing what I'm learning, what I'm trying, and what sometimes helps because I am right there with you in this struggle. My brain is still exhausting and I'm still working on this. But what I'm learning is first, we have to recognize that overthinking is not a personality flaw, it's a trauma response. And you're not broken. You're not defective. You're not just an overthinker. Your brain learned to do this to keep you safe, and it's really good at its job. The problem is the job description has changed, but your brain has not gotten the memo yet. When you catch yourself overthinking, instead of judging yourself for it, try to have compassion. My brain is trying to protect me. It thinks that there's a threat, and it's doing what it's learned to do. And that shifts from what's wrong with me to my system's responding to the old ways. We have to practice distinguishing between productive thinking and rumination. Productive thinking has a purpose. It's problem solving, it's planning, it's a beginning, middle, and end. You think about something, you come to a conclusion, and make a decision, you move on. Rumination is circular. It's thinking about the same things over and over and over again without reaching a resolution.
It's replaying that conversation for the 100th time. It's asking yourself the same questions you've already asked. It's worrying about things you can't control or haven't even happened yet. When you notice yourself thinking about something, ask yourself, is this productive or is this rumination? Am I solving a problem or am I just spinning my wheels? If it's rumination, you have to interrupt it. I know, that's easier said than done, but it starts with noticing. And then we have to externalize the thoughts, get them out of your head. When thoughts are just going around your mind constantly, they have an infinite space to expand, multiply. But when you get them out by writing them down, saying them out loud, talking it out to someone, they become manageable. I've started doing brain dumps when my thoughts are overwhelming. I just write down everything that's in my mind. Not in an organized way, just everything that's in my head, just out of my head by writing it. It makes them feel less powerful. It goes from this massive chaotic swirl of list of specific thoughts that I can actually address. Many times I look at the list and I go, well, these are not real problems. They are just things my brain is creating problems to worry about. And I can cross those out because they're not real. The ones that are real, I can make a plan for. But I can't do any of that if the other ones are bouncing in my head. And this is a hard one. We need to practice setting boundaries with our brains. This is weird, I know, but it's real. You can tell your brain, we're not thinking about this right now. We're going to think about it at another time because right now I'm doing something else. You could designate some worry time, maybe 15 minutes a day, where you're allowed to think about all the things you're worried about, analyze those conversations, consider all the decisions that need to be made. But outside those times, remind yourself, not now, we can worry later. Does it always work? No. Does my brain always listen? Absolutely not. But sometimes even a few hours of a mental break makes a difference. And we have to engage our bodies to get out of our heads. When you're stuck in overthinking, you're completely in your head. Your body just is a vehicle for your brain. But your body is actually a powerful tool for interrupting thoughts. You can go for a walk, do jumping jacks, dance it out, stretch, anything that gets you out of your head. The physical movement interrupts the mental loop. But you could also notice your senses. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you could hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you could smell, 1 thing you can taste. This grounds you in the present moment instead of in your thoughts. And breathe. Not just normal breathing. Don't be like, Kayla, I'm always breathing. No, intentional breathing. Slow down, deep breaths that signal to your nervous system that you are safe, that you can relax, and you don't need to be in threat detection mode. And we have to practice making decisions without overthinking them. I know this is hard. It's hard for me too. And this goes against everything our brain wants to do. But breaking the overthinking cycle is proving to yourself that you can make decisions without analyzing them to death. Start with the small, low stakes decisions. Maybe, what should I have for lunch? What should I wear? What podcast should I listen to? Make that decision quickly without thinking about it for more than 30 seconds, and then commit to it. Do not second guess that decision. Do not analyze that decision. Just decide on it and move on. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel different. Your brain is going to want to think about it more. But that discomfort is progress because you're teaching your brain that you can make decisions without catastrophizing, without thinking that mistakes are the end. You are teaching your brain that you can make decisions and that mistakes aren't the end of the world and you can trust yourself.
Your healing matters. Your story matters. and you matter. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Red House. If you have a story to share or want to connect, email me at hello@kaylavalterno.com. Visit kaylavalterno.com for my book and resources to support your healing journey. Everything will be in the show notes. Keep building beyond whatever tried to break you. You are stronger than you know. This is Beyond the Red House.